focusing on the constellation Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a zodiac constellation, and thus it was discovered by the Greek astronomer Ptolemy in the 2nd century, which is the case for all zodiac constellations. The reason zodiac constellations are so special is because as the Earth revolves around the Sun, it appears as if the Sun is traveling through these 12 constellations. The Sun travels through Sagittarius from November 22nd to November 21st. Sagittarius was named by Ptolemy, and it is actually the Latin word for meaning archer. Two of the main asterisms within Sagittarius, which we use to locate the constellation, are the teapot and the teaspoon, the teapot being the more famous and more well-known of these two asterisms. Within the Sagittarius is also the densest part of the Milky Way, which also makes it very easy to locate. Sagittarius takes up 867 square degrees in the night sky, which makes it the largest constellation in the southern hemisphere and the 15th largest constellation out of all constellations known to man. It can be found in between the constellations Scorpius and Cornucopus. If you find Scorpius or Cornucopus, you can find it directly, like immediately in between the two. It can also be found if you look at the night horizon and you go up following the Milky Way. You can find it within the densest part, and you can distinctly see the teapot in dark night skies and also with city lights because it is so bright. Sagittarius can be seen in the summer between June and August. Sagittarius is known as a happy hunting ground for many astronomers. This is because it has a multitude of deep sky objects. These deep sky objects include 16 stars with known planets and 15 minor objects, the most in any constellation. These minor objects include M8, M17, M18, M20, M21, M22, M23, M24, M25, M28, M54, M55, M69, M70, and M75. Because there are so many minor objects, I chose to focus on some of the most interesting and beautiful to look at. First, I would like you to know M17, or the Omega Nebula, the Swan Nebula, or the Horseshoe Nebula. This nebula is named thus because of its distinct resemblance to the Greek letter omega. Now, the Omega Nebula is actually a great stellar nursery, and the dark spots that you see within this nebula are actually carbon-based smoke-sized dust, and this dust absorbs the background starlight behind it. Eventually, this dust will no longer exist as the massive stars that are being created within this nebula are slowly blowing it away. Next, we have the Lagoon Nebula, or M8. The Lagoon Nebula is very bright and beautiful to look at, and its light is actually caused by an embedded open star cluster that is behind it. You can actually see some of the stars peeking through the cloud of dust as it shines through the nebula, because they are so bright and massive. Next, we have the Trifid Nebula, or M20. The Trifid Nebula is so bright that you can see it with a good pair of binoculars in the night sky. Its distinct two colors, the red and the blue, are caused by the massive stars that are being born within this nebula. The red light is caused by the massive stars that are hitting hydrogen gas and then thus creating the red glow, while the blue light is actually a reflection of distant stars. We don't actually know where these stars are or which stars cause this blue light, but we know that they must be of great size to create the bright color. We don't actually know the distance that the Trifid Nebula is from Earth, but we do know that it is actually 50 light years across. To wrap up this section on deep sky objects, I would like to discuss Sagittarius A. Sagittarius A is actually the center of our galaxy. It is a bright, center, dense part, but you cannot actually see the very center of our galaxy because it is a supermassive black hole, and no light ever escapes a black hole. We do know it is there, though, because of X-ray scans we've taken, because black holes release some amounts of X-ray. To wrap up my presentation, I would like to discuss the mythology behind this constellation. Sagittarius actually represents the immortal Greek centaur, Charon. Charon is known to be a great teacher, archer, musician, and doctor. He is noted to have trained some of the greatest heroes in Greek mythology, such as Hercules, Perseus, and Achilles. While training Hercules, one day Charon was shot by a poison-dipped arrow. Because he was immortal, he did not die from this poison, but the poison was so strong that he was unable to be cured, and the poison caused him great, excruciating pain throughout his life. To end his suffering, he offered himself up in place of Prometheus, the Greek god that was noted for having given man fire and thus was punished for giving them such power. In honor of his great deeds and the sacrifice that he has made, Zeus placed Charon in the stars so that he could forever be immortalized in the heavens. And that concludes my presentation. Here are my citations. I hope you enjoy, and that you have a good day.